Right, let's talk about What Boys because I've made over $100,000 in profit over the last couple of years, primarily through social media. I made close to $2,000 using Whop. So I'm kind of educated on how this goes. Now, is Whop a good business model? Let me tell you. So, if you're a complete beginner that's never made money online, Whop clipping is good. Why? Because it teaches you the ropes about how to create content. It's basically a way of thinking of it is it's a sales job. You're not really having a business. You're more just doing sales without paying for conversions. You're getting paid for views. That's all it is, really. You're clipping up other people's content. You're an employee for that person that you're clipping for. But why is that good? Because at the end of the day, right, you're learning the content game. And social media and content creation is one of the most valuable skills, well, this decade, and it will be in the future. If you can make converting content that actually gets views, you're on to a winner because you can apply that to a lot of different business paths. Now, is clipping as a business model good? I don't think so. Why? If you're the one that's getting people to click for you, great. You're getting top of funnel reach, you're getting impressions on your content for a very cheap price overall. But if you're clipping for others, all you're doing is being an employee for them, really. Let's be completely honest about it. Now, are you going to earn money along the way? Great. Is it a side hustle? Yes. Is it an online business? I don't think so. Now, obviously, you can turn clipping into an agency if you become really good at it. You can train other clippers. You can make a course on how to do it, make a community of other clipping people, go privately to different content creators and try to clip for them on retainers. Yes, you can turn it into a business, but for 9 out of 10 people, in fact, 99 out of 100 people, it's never going to be a business. It's just going to be a side hustle where you just keep clipping clips of Imam Ghazi or XYZ, Samuel Nuha, if he's still about, I don't even know. But the point is, you're always going to be clipping for someone else. It's never a business that's scalable and what you can build. So my honest opinion is this. If you don't want an online business, but you just want a side hustle to make extra money, Whop clipping is one of the best things you can do out there. Low barriers to entry. You can get started straight away. Now, if you want to actually build a scalable online business, Whop clipping is not what I would do. There's so many better avenues out there. There's personal branding YouTube channels where you're actually building a business. Like I said, I made over $100,000 profit in social media primarily over the last 1.5, like 18 months, 1.5 years, right? And a lot of it has come from the personal brand I've built on YouTube, being able to charge fees for sponsorships, affiliate marketing, etc. Being able to get people to buy my digital products. This is all through building up social media, right? Building up a personal brand. But you can build up an agency. You get experience, obviously talking to clients, and then word of mouth spreads like wildfire if you do a really good job. E-commerce equally, you can build up your own brand and make it make it branded so at least it's more scalable. And there's plenty of different e-commerce brands that started as dropshipping, then built up a really scalable brand from that side. So my personal opinion is, if you're doing Whop clipping to build an online business, it's probably not the right thing to do. Like, if you actually want to build a business of it, if you're doing it as a side hustle, great. But if you're doing it as a business, not personally what I would say. Now, obviously, there's other ways to make money on Whop. There's digital products, for example. I've spoken about digital products on Whop before. I think Whop is a good platform for clipping. I'm not sold on it right now for digital products. I know you can obviously get communities on there. You can link it with Discord. I do it myself. That's great. But if you want to do something like ebooks, courses, especially pitched at an older demographic, I'm not personally sold on Whop for that, because I do think the user interface is very sort of like hard to understand, especially for older demographics. And a lot of the times when you're selling ebooks, courses, etc., believe it or not, you are pitching it to an older demographic that's got more disposable income to spend, and that's more of an unsaturated market. Like, everyone's trying to sell ebooks on how to grow a YouTube channel, right? How many people are trying to sell ebooks on how to fish or something like that, right? That's pitched at an older demographic. You're more likely to get customers from that standpoint, but Whop is a bit harder to use. So I've been using Pillar for that. I've made over $400 in the last 25 days, well, less, 20 days, pretty much passively using Pillar.io, which I will link down below, by the way, for my digital products. I think that's much better than Whop. But Whop's main sort of thing is clipping. Let's be real about it. I know it's a digital product platform, but where they've really started to take off recently has been clipping. And like I said, I've got experience clipping. I've made over $2,000 on Whop personally, so I know the platform, I know how it works. Another problem is a lot of people have said that they've been denied. Well, like, they've been denied sort of like being paid out. That's not Whop's problem. I know people blame Whop for that. Whop is basically just like the middleman. It hosts everything on there. If you're getting denied and not getting paid out, more often than not, it's actually the clipping community, the moderators that are not accepting your posts, and therefore they're not paying you out. So that's not necessarily Whop's problem. Obviously, they can moderate it a bit more if they wanted to, but they've got more of a hands-off approach and just let the clipping community decide. I know other people are saying that, oh, I can't do it from the region I'm in. Look, tough at the end of the day, right? Like that's the I do the same thing. Like me personally, I do the same thing. So I can't sit there and go, that's the wrong thing to do. I would target higher income nations, USA, UK, Canada, Germany, Australia, etc. I wouldn't target third world countries. So if I'm saying that, I can't sit there and disregard anyone else for doing that also. Like, you've got to be honest about it. Who's more likely to buy stuff? People from USA, UK, Germany, not people from Asian countries, etc. It's just the way it is. So make sure you actually understand the rules and requirements, because a lot of people are saying Whop scamming. It's not Whop scamming. It can be the community itself that's scamming, but it's not necessarily scamming if they made their requirements clear, like 50% USA audience or only US UK clippers. That's in their requirements. If you're not from there, tough. Like that's part of it. So be honest with yourself. What type of person do you want to be? Do you want to be someone that just does clipping for other people? Then yeah, give Whop a try. It's a good beginner business model. I've made videos about it on my main channel. I think it's a really good beginner, not business model, beginner like side hustle. But as a business model, I would say definitely do something a bit more scalable. Like, if I always think when I started out, right, what would be my long-term vision? Like, if I can have a 5-year vision for it, then it's perfect. Can you think of a 5-year vision clipping? If you can, like say you want to start clipping, then you want to train other clippers, you want to make your own clipping agency, great. By all means, go ahead. But if in 5 years' time, you're still going to be clipping on Whop, is that really a vision, or is that just a side hustle you're doing? And some people are happy with that, make no mistake about it. But I think others are sort of conflating the idea between an online business and a side hustle, because it's very different things. Side hustles are less scalable than online businesses. An online business that is scalable. Like, that's something that's going to take over and become your full-time job one day, and potentially even a full-time business where you're hiring other people and you can live off that money. So have a clear understanding of what you want clipping, because if you just want it to be a side hustle, great. But if you want online business, there's others I'd go for. In fact, I've got a video like it's going to pop up right beside me that will show you exactly the best online business, in my opinion, in 2025. Remember, you're the only person that can make it happen, but you are also the only person that can mess it all up.